Alright. I believe I mentioned this in a previous video. Now that I got the tripod, the cell phone, everything set up, I'm now going to tell you what I think of Ratchet Clank Full Frontal Assault. But first of all, see? Let me just get into the campaign here. Now, Starship Phoenix 2 harkens back to Up Your Arsenal, which was where you had the Starship Phoenix as your main base of operations. Now, for those of you who don't know, I should probably have this on mute, shouldn't I? Forget it. Alright, for those of you who don't know, the first Ratchet Clank game was called Ratchet Clank, and it came out in 2002 for the PlayStation. Actually, I'm going to put it on mute like this. Alright, the first game that came out was 2002 for Ratchet Clank. The second game was Ratchet Clank Going Commando. The third game was Ratchet Clank Up Your Arsenal. The fourth game was Ratchet Clank Deadlocked. Then you had Future Tools of Destruction for the PS3. Then you had Quest for Booty, which was basically, a sort of quasi-DLC kind of expansion pack. Then you had Crack in Time. Then you had the HD collection that came out for the 10th anniversary. This also came out the 10th anniversary. Then there's Ratchet and Clank All for One, which, I gotta be honest with you, I don't really consider that to be a Ratchet Clank game. I mean, everything that's set up in the freaking Ratchet and Clank universe says that Dr. Nefarious is the villain and that you're supposed to defeat Dr. Nefarious, so why on earth, through whatever convoluted circumstances, would Quark, Ratchet, and Clank ever want to work with Dr. Nefarious? And of course, a couple months back, you had Ratchet and Clank Into the Nexus, which is supposed to be kind of, that epilogue chapter to the whole, PlayStation 3 Ratchet and Clank stuff. And I will get into Nexus at some point, but for right now, I'm going to unpause this and we'll get into Ratchet and Clank Full Frontal Assault. Alright. First problem is this. You don't do what you would normally do in a Ratchet and Clank game, which is over different planets, get the gadgets, the weapons, and the gear. No, what you've got to do is you've got to earn medals, and in those medals unlock promotions, and that right there is my first complaint. Second, and we're going to get to it right here, is the weapons. Okay? Okay, and these ones are over on this side. And part of the reason I'm showing this is because, and I will get into it when I go to one of the 3 planets that I've been able to find so far.
This is so weird. My internal sensors are lighting off. Any two birds carrying around the holocaust?
this is where you select stuff. And, you know, everybody's pretty much here. Where is the plumber's on the ship somewhere. Let me find him.
How convenient.
There's Clank. Quark's over there. Ah, here he is. Here's the plumber.
From another mission, eh?
Here's the plumber. And now here you go. I mean, it looks like there may be more, but so far I've only found 3. Grumble that plasma harvester. Alright. Let's do that one first. I'm only going to show this once. Alright. I'll skip the rest of that. And now we gotta wait for it to load. By the way, that happens every planet you go to. Alright. Now, this level is going to be pretty much indicative of the entire thing, but I will show you the other levels. First and foremost, there's this ridiculous goal time. Okay? And from here, I can get into this. Yeah. These skill points here. Now, given these skill points that are here, I'm imagining there's probably 5 planets, but the game has pretty much played the same on the 3 planets I've gotten done so far. So and of course there are these here, which are. But some of these are PvP based, and I'm not a big fan of PvP, or at least online PvP. It's never been something I've really been interested in. Unlockables, and you know, the medals. I'm not sure what that's supposed to be, but you get enough of them, and I mean, there's the next content pack. And there's the other contact pack. That's the one I want. I'll just be honest with you. I want that one. Okay. Oh, these are the gold bolts. Okay. Yeah, the one I want the most. Okay, this one's kind of stupid. Why would you turn weapon leveling off? I mean, who is stupid enough to turn weapon leveling off in a Ratchet Clank game? Okay, there's that. That's that. Alright, now I'm going to exit out of this. This level is pretty much indicative of the entire game. Quark and Clank pretty much sit there and do nothing the entire level. And your generators, you get 6 generators per level, and you buy turrets. There's one more turret, the Warmonger turret, but I'd have to go to a different planet to show that one. And now we're going to go here to this weapon station, which is going to show you my #1 issue with how this game was done. And here it is, right here. This station only has 1 weapon, but a lot of the other ones have 2 or 3 weapons. You're only allowed to unlock 1 weapon at a time, and the weapons do not carry over from planet to planet. So every time you go to a new planet, you have to re-unlock weapons that you should have already had if you unlocked them from another planet.
The combustor is now available.
I mean, at least they give you ammo when you go to one of these stations. But I spend predominantly my time going after crates, going back to the base, putting stuff up, going out to an area, then having something happen at the base where I have to go all the way back to the base, then go all the way back to an area that I was already at before. And you keep going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and then it eventually leads to this basically boss wave that lasts, as far as I'm concerned, longer than it should. And I'm going to spare you all of that. I'm not going to put it in this video. I'm going to go back to the Phoenix. I'll show you guys the other 2 planets. And then I'll tell you what. And then at that point, I'll end things. Okay? Oh yeah, and that's another complaint of mine. Your ship basically does nothing. You cannot use your ship to travel between planets. Anytime you want to leave a planet, you have to go back to the Phoenix, and then you have to go from the Phoenix to that planet, which is, it's kind of stupid. I mean, it's. I mean, I get the whole point. It's supposed to be your base of operations, but you know, it's kind of stupid. It's unnecessary. I shouldn't be going from a planet to a ship, then from that ship to another planet, and have to do that every time I want to change planets. It's unnecessary. It's padding. It's padding when you don't need padding. Okay. And you get this scene every time you leave the Phoenix to go from planet to planet. So every time you go back to the Phoenix, you get a cutscene of you going to the Phoenix. And when you leave the Phoenix, you get a cutscene of you leaving the Phoenix. And I get that. I get it's supposed to be a short game, but it's supposed to be a short game, but even in a short game, you don't need this kind of padding. And here we are, this is basically the jungle planet. Yeah, still got these 2 turrets. Yeah, let me go that way. Let me go over here.
This one's mine.
Okay, I guess I'm going to have to do a little bit of fighting here. Oh yeah, did I also forget, did I also mention that the enemies are basically the same on every single planet? So far from what I've seen, the enemies don't change planet to planet. And this is demonstrating what I told you guys earlier. I can only select one weapon. That's it. Which is why if you are playing this game, you're going to have weapons that you never use. Or you use only that weapon just to level up for no reason at all. As for me, the choice is easy. Mr. Zircon is my favorite Ratchet Clank weapon. So. Yeah, Mr. Zircon's my favorite. Now, I've got to get myself up to the top here so I can show you. It's around here somewhere. Ah, here we go.
Enemy dropship now on approach.
See? That's what I'm talking about. And I did that as a shortcut, but this is pretty indicative that you will be doing something, an enemy dropship, and you will literally have to go all the way back to your base to defend your base, and then you can go back to what you were doing.
The Q-Force base is under attack. The Q-Force base is secure. All generators are online.
Alright, now I'll go all the way back to where I was, just to show you this one thing. Here's another thing. Okay, let's do this. Okay. And here, these are pretty much your quote-unquote heavy weapons. And again, you can only select one at a time.
You have unlocked the plasma bomb launcher.
Now, the main point of this game is that you have your base here. You're supposed to defend your base, but at the same time, you're supposed to unlock these two nodes here so that you can turn on the base, the planetary defense up here. But as soon as you turn on the planetary defense down here, you have to go all the way back to your base to start a stupid quote-unquote reboot of the defense, which triggers the freaking boss wave, which usually lasts longer than it should. Okay. Okay, now let's do this all over again, just so you can show you the third place level.
Activate!
Yeah, this one. See? Again, every time you leave the Phoenix, you get that cutscene. And granted, you can skip it, but not getting it in the first place.
Alright, you boys, this is simple. Drive back to Brungarian Hard, restore the Planetary Defense Center, and return to the Phoenix for what I can only hope is a galaxy-funded pizza party.
Yeah, when you go to a new planet, you get these. Ooh, I'm actually going to get some new enemies.
Brungarian wrecking drones detected.
I'm not even entirely sure which planet I'm on. No matter.
I'm gonna write on the
Okay, so the planets don't differ. It's basically the same thing. Activate the two keynotes, get the planetary defense system running, reboot the planetary defense system, move on to the next planet, rinse, repeat. The buzz plates make an appearance here. So I'm going to take these.
The Q4 space is under attack. The Q4 space is secure.
Okay.
All generators are online.
There's not much else I could show you because this is pretty much the entire game. So. So I'm going to exit out of that. I'll leave you on that screen, but basically, my biggest complaint is that you do not carry your weapons between planets. That every planet is basically the same, and the only difference between the planets is what I call window dressing. I mean, most of the planets are basically the same thing. Unlock one keynote, unlock the other keynote, unlock the Planetary Defense Center, go back to your base to reboot the Planetary Defense Center, have this boss wave, rinse, repeat, every single planet. And, you know, I get the idea of a tower defense game set in Ratchet Clank universe, and okay, I get the idea of a Ratchet Clank game having a tower defense thing. I understand the idea. It's just, it does not work. The way it is set up is just terrible. I mean, I'm glad that I only paid $20 for this, but I mean, if this were a full-priced game, no. I wouldn't even pick it up off the shelf. The gameplay is just way too repetitive. It's called Ratchet and Clank, but it's basically a Ratchet adventure with Clank and Quark doing absolutely nothing to help him. I mean, sure, if the forces get most of your your power generators and they get near your base, they'll fire the turrets at you, but that's pretty much it. And you're constantly going back and forth between the Phoenix and the planet you're going to, and after a while seeing the same cutscene for the 40th time, it's just boring. And yeah, that's just, it's just, it's the same thing I felt about the tower defense game and Assassin's Creed Revelations. The idea is good in theory, the execution is horrendous. So there it is. A misnamed game. Ratchet & Clank Full Frontal Assault, but in all intents and purposes, it's basically a Ratchet with Clank and Quark on turrets tower defense game, and it doesn't work. It's way too repetitive. The having to unlock your own weapons is stupid. Only getting to have one weapon from an unlocked station is also ridiculous. Your bolts don't carry over between planets, so any money you would have had at the end of a planet doesn't carry over. You start at zero on every planet you start on. On top of that, any turrets you bought, you don't get a refund for them, which would be a good idea. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, the last thing I will say is that if you are a real Ratchet & Clank fan like I am, then if you could find this game on some ridiculous sale, or somebody's got it on eBay for $5 and it's only going to cost you $10 total, alright, get it. But if you're not a Ratchet & Clank fan, this is not the game to start with in the Ratchet and as far as Ratchet & Clank goes. If I have to give this game a grade of any kind, I think number scores are stupid, but I'd have to say that this would probably be a C- for me. One sec. I will go over here. I'm going to show you the Ratchet & Clank games that you should play. Which means I'm also going to have to exit out of here. Go into here. Alright. We will start with this, the Ratchet & Clank HD Collection. If you have never played a Ratchet & Clank game, start with this, and start with Ratchet & Clank, then do Going Commando, then do Up Your Arsenal, and if you can find it on PSN, do Deadlocked. From there, Ratchet & Clank Future Tools of Destruction. And I'm not kidding when I say this. This game is literally the reason I bought a PlayStation 3. I literally bought a PlayStation 3 for this game. Then, when you are done with this, move on to Ratchet & Clank Quest for Booty. It's basically the it's basically the transition between Tools of Destruction and, for me personally, what is the best Ratchet & Clank game that has been done. Ratchet & Clank, A Crack in Time. This, for me, is the best Ratchet & Clank game that was made by Insomniac. And when you're done with Ratchet & Clank Future Crack in Time, play Into the Nexus, because it is It's pretty much the epilogue of the current Ratchet and Clank storyline. And then, wait and see if there's a Ratchet and Clank for the PS4. Because I'm pretty sure that if there's Ratchet and Clank on the PS4, it would cost me to fork over the money for a PS4. Alright, like I said, it's enough of that. I'll just finally sum it up in one thing. Good idea, bad execution. If you're not a Ratchet and Clank fan, do not get full Frontal Assault. If you are a Ratchet and Clank fan, get it when it gets to the bargain bin, because it is a bargain bin title. It is not something you should pay full retail price for. Alright. And we are done.